Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 208. My name is Adam Patterson. Joining me today, as always, we have Kevin Rakestraw, and we are back after a 2-week hiatus to talk about a film that I believe was made just for Kevin. And that's the gory Turkish horror film Baskin.
It was just directly up my alley.
When these filmmakers were like, "Hey, what do we want to do here?" They're like, "Let's make a film for Kevin Rakestraw."
Everything that he loves, everything that he wants cinema to be, they jam-packed it into like an hour and a half.
In addition to that review, we're also going to be talking about some other stuff we've been watching on the watch list, movie predictions, new on video on demand, Blu-ray releases. Good to be back. Feels good.
Yes.
I apologize for being away for so long. Actually, I think it's been longer than 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks, I think. Because I was away last week for the holiday.
Yeah.
And then you were sick the previous week.
Yeah.
And we might have just flat out skipped a week. No, I think it was just 2 weeks.
The week before we were just like, fuck it.
No, well, the problem is
when we try to
when there's nothing coming out, it's like it's tough to try to force a show when there's nothing out.
Yeah, because you end up getting a show like Baskin.
Let's talk about some news. I almost bagged it. I almost said, you know what, we'll skip another week. But then
we did have a lot of trouble trying to find.
Yeah. But I didn't want to skip another week. I didn't want to go that long without doing a show. It's a bad habit, and I didn't want to be involved in it.
You don't want that bad habit to become an old habit.
Exactly. So let's talk about some news.
All right.
First up, Robert De Niro pulls Vaxxed from the Tribeca lineup, and it ends up in theaters. Have you read anything about this?
All I saw was, didn't he come out and defend it, and then the very next day he pulled it?
Yep. So basically, there was an anti-vaccine documentary that was set to screen at Tribeca this year. It was directed by I believe he was a gastroenterologist, former gastroenterologist, he was basically the one who formulated the whole vaccines cause autism thing that was proven to be false. I guess he wasn't done. He wasn't done with this whole thing, and he couldn't admit that he was wrong, so he decided to make a documentary about it. And at first, De Niro was saying, look, it's important to have these voices because films like this spark discussion, and we need to have discussion about these topics.
Not that one.
But people were not happy that this was being shown, so inevitably they decided, you know what, we're getting too much bad press from this, fuck it, let's just pull it. So they, several days later, they came out and said, all right, we're not going to show it. And the funny thing was, it was that was even worse. That was even worse than them defending it, because then you had people crying censorship. They were like, I was reading the comments on this announcement. I think the comment thread I was reading might have been on IndieWire, might have been on one of the other sites. Actually, I think it was one of the more tabloid-esque sites, like The Wrap or something. But there were so many comments that were like, "This is censorship. Why would you do that?
It's not censorship.
De Niro's trying to hide the truth." And I'm like, this is his film festival. If he doesn't want a movie to play there, he doesn't have to play it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That is their prerogative.
And it's not censorship. The movie was still made, and you're still releasing it. Censorship would be the government coming in and saying, "No,
exactly,
you can't make this."
People don't understand what censorship is. They don't get it. Also, what if it was a film about that glorified pedophilia or something, and somehow it slipped through the cracks and got on the programming slate, and then they found out oh shit, this movie glorifies pedophilia. Would you be then saying you guys censored? We need to see this movie. This movie needs to get out there.
Yeah.
No, of course not. So the whole censorship thing and people complaining that it was pulled is ridiculous. However, the fallout, somehow the movie actually ended up in theaters. It's playing in theaters right now here in the city.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what's going on, but
I guess
now it's readily available for anyone to go see it.
Man.
Which totally backfired.
Which you got to be thinking the other people that are going to be playing at Tribeca and all these other festivals, the amount of time and effort, resources that they put into making their movies, and this stupid ass doc just takes that pipeline straight to theaters.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I mean, I think movies like this, any movie has a right to exist, but movies like this they don't really seem like festival movies. They seem like YouTube videos.
Or yeah,
like the Loose Change video, or any of those. What are they? The Zeitgeist videos
pop up on like Vimeo for $2.99.
Yeah, those that's a good place for them. Like the internet. I mean, that's where these types of people that's where they live.
That's where this trash belongs.
Yeah.
Put her on the internet with the rest of the trash. Come on.
Exactly. So either way, it was a blunder, and Tribeca came out of it not looking very good. So it's unfortunate, but somebody probably got fired for programming that one. Actually, it seems like that one was probably a group effort. I doubt one person made the decision to put that on the roster.
Boy.
Vaxxed. Check it out.
Don't.
Speaking of which, I got an email. This is like slightly off topic, but I got an email about.
Did you get an email from their PR?
No, I didn't actually get anything from them, which is funny. I got stuff from most of the films screening this year, but oddly not from Vaxxed. I wonder why. I got an email about this movie that is coming out, and I'm not going to get into detail about it, but it was a documentary about how shaken baby syndrome is a myth.
What?
Yeah, it was like exposes the myth of shaken baby syndrome, and I was like, what? Why would we? Like, why is this even a thing? Why don't we just assume that it's not a myth? Like...
Yeah, like, you actually invested time? Like, you were sitting around at one point in time, and you're like, you know what? I bet you this shit's a myth. Grab my camera. Let's do this.
Yeah, I don't know why I got that email either, and I also got a couple, like, faith-based movies that are coming out. I got emails about those, too, and I'm like, do people not do any research into who I am or what we write about on the site?
Did they not hear our last podcast?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking maybe that's why I started getting these, because they didn't listen to it. They just saw we were talking about it.
They're like, oh man, they knew well enough to check it out with the second one hitting theaters. They must be into it.
Yeah.
Indeed, their email counts.
Either way. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Warner Brothers spends millions on reshoots for Suicide Squad. So this news came out today, and all of this news is fairly recent. I didn't want to go back too far in the news. I want to keep it pretty recent. I know we were gone for 2 weeks. So Warner Brothers announced that they're going to be spending a shitload of money on reshoots for the Suicide Squad because they wanted to make it more entertaining.
Wouldn't that have been that should have been your goal from the outset, right?
Yeah, you would think so. So I guess they saw maybe this has to do with Batman v Superman not doing so hot. I mean, it made a lot of money, but people didn't like it. Maybe one of the criticisms was that it was way too serious. So maybe that's they were looking at it and they thought, well, shit, we got this Suicide Squad. It's not as fun as what people are hoping. We gotta liven it up a bit. Because from what I understand, that last trailer that came out for Suicide Squad, the one that had the Bohemian Rhapsody, apparently that was like all the funny parts. Like that was all of the energetic and fun parts, and the rest of it was like really dark and grim. And they were like, all right, we got to do something. Because I guess they got a lot of really good feedback on that trailer, which was a really good trailer. But I guess it was misleading because the movie itself was not like that. So now they're going to be doing tons of, which is funny. I mean, I feel like they're really cutting it close here.
Oh, my favorite thing about these superhero movies and these Hollywood movies, the more and more you read about it, it just seems like they don't know what they're doing. Like they have no idea how to do movies.
Certainly Warner Brothers.
It just like they just don't know how to do it. Like
certainly Warner Brothers. They have no idea.
The stuff that they choose to reboot and the making movies out of like Where's Waldo, and you're doing reshoots before and the movie's supposed to come out within a little bit of time. It's just, it seems like they have no clue whatsoever of what they should be doing or how it's supposed to be done.
I think Disney, they pretty much know what they're doing.
Yeah,
the Star Wars and the Marvel stuff.
They just churn that shit out.
Yeah,
they're a well-oiled machine. Everyone else is just.
It's
like they just discovered movies.
Yeah,
and they have no idea how business works or expectations or anything involving humans.
I think maybe they don't understand the modern climate of big blockbuster movies.
No, they're making a Where's Waldo movie. And they made one. Oh, was that how many years back was that? They tried to make Battleship into a movie. Battleship.
Well, they did. They didn't try.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to go so far as to
from
call
what I understand, it was a disaster, but they did do it. Speaking of Warner Brothers, Batman v Superman drops a record 81% in its second weekend at the box office.
Wow.
81%. That is a tremendous drop.
And the thing that's even more unbelievable about that is like nothing came out. Did anything come out that you could kind of understand that much of a drop? Because you'd be like, oh, you're going to see this instead.
Oh, it just sucked. It sucked. The movie sucked, and I think that it bummed me out to see critics almost universally hating a movie and having it do that good, because it makes you think, like, anytime I write a review, there's no point. Like, it's just completely futile.
Well, yeah, there's no point to it, dude.
But
you're already, I mean, most people have their mind made up. They're going to watch whatever they want to watch.
Yeah, and I get that it's different for the bigger movies. Like, the bigger movies, regardless, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
And maybe reviews are more important for smaller movies where you don't know much about them, or you're on the fence, or you're looking, it made it to Netflix and you're just trying to figure out what you want to watch. I get that, but I think that the reason for the drop is that it wasn't good, and people told their friends don't bother with it. Or with a lot of movies like this, people go see them multiple times, and with this movie, people saw it once and they were like, nope, that's enough for me. Thank you very much. I'm good. So yeah, I mean, it still made a ton of money. It made like $500 million in its first weekend.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the first week or something. I can't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, it's
made money.
Definitely not what they projected. Okay, here, the worldwide total is currently $587.8 million. Yeah, I mean, it still made a lot of money.
That's right.
But I'll be giving my thoughts on that movie later on in the show, so stay tuned. Spoiler, I didn't like it. Let's see. Fandependent Films starts its spring festival today. We're recording this on Sunday, so if you're not familiar, Fandependent Films is it's like an online film festival. Now, full disclosure, Film Pulse is sponsoring the spring season, so we'll be involved with promoting it, and it's like a cross promotion thing. We're not paying them, they're not paying us. No money's being exchanged.
No, we're just gonna tweet about it every fucking hour.
No, we're not gonna do that either.
That's what we planned.
So anyway, Fandependent Films, it's an online film festival where what is it, every day?
Every day. It's almost like Mubi. If you're familiar with Mubi, a movie will come out, and then I think it does stay on the site for like 30 days or something like that.
it stays on for the length of the festival, I think, and then after the festival is over, the 3 winners stay on the site permanently, and you can watch all the films for free, and you can vote for films that you think should win, essentially.
Yeah, and you're voting with what is it, $3?
Yeah, it's something like that. And the money, actually a portion of the money goes back to the filmmaker. So you're paying to vote for the films you like, and you're helping support the festival, and you're helping support the filmmakers themselves. So it's a cool idea, and I'm anxious to see. I think I heard that the spring season has 64 films that are going to be coming out. So, and there's some good ones in there.
And I got to say the last, the winter festival that they had go, and I don't know the exact number, but it seemed like a shit ton of movies that they had in that festival run. But a lot of stuff that I haven't really even heard of.
Yeah. And a lot of these most of these are American indies that you're seeing. And I think that for their first festival over the winter, I think they got a really decent lineup. And I think that the spring one hopefully will grow even more. So check that out. You can go to fandependentfilms.com. We'll put a link in the show notes for that, and just keep an eye out, because the films are going to start releasing this week, and you can vote for your favorite ones, watch them all for free. It's a pretty cool deal, and it's all designed to help support independent filmmakers and get the word out about these movies. So it's a good cause. So definitely check it out. Trailers this week. Oh, and as part of what we're going to be doing with that is we're actually going to be reviewing a whole bunch of the movies, so you can check our site for reviews and read our thoughts on a lot of them that are going to be coming out. Trailers this week. Actually, this is just a number of trailers that came out over the last couple weeks that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
The Lego Batman movie.
Oh boy.
Got a teaser. I don't know. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Looks good. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be funny. It's the Will Arnett coming back as the voice of Batman. It's the same, animation style as the Lego movie, so it's mixing in the stop motion with the CG.
It's just a bummer though, because his Batman was the least interesting thing about the Lego movie.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like I thought that he had some funny moments in that, but it's just sustaining that for a whole movie. I don't know.
Let's be honest, how much more fucking Batman can we take?
I can take a lot.
Really? You can take more Batman?
I'm a pretty big fan of Batman.
Sweet,
so, yeah.
Jesus.
I can deal with a lot of Batman.
There's so much fucking Batman. And Spider-Man. Jesus Christ. The world's going to implode.
I will agree that, and I'm not sure if it was that I hated Batman v Superman that much, or that I'm actually starting to feel the kind of the malaise of the superhero movie.
Well, you got the Gotham TV show, and now you got Lego Batman, you got Batman v Superman, and then you got the Suicide Squad coming out, and then you probably got another fucking Batman movie lined up at some point in time, and then there's cartoons for Batman. It's just Batman everywhere, and Spider-Man everywhere, and Superman everywhere.
It's Bat Fever.
Oh my goodness. Cool it with the Bat Fever.
I like that Michael Cera is going to be doing the voice of Robin, though.
That is perfect.
I'm hoping for like a really timid, wimpy Robin.
Please.
I think it'll be fun.
I'm sure it will be. I mean, right off the bat, it's going to be fun to watch just for the animation.
Yeah, and I think Zach Galifianakis is the Joker.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for it. I think it'll be good. One that I'm not excited about, Deepwater Horizon.
What?
Trailer.
What's this?
Have you seen this?
No, what's this?
Oh my god, it is. This movie looks unbelievably horrible. It's based around the Deepwater Horizon disaster.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And it stars Mark Wahlberg. And just after we're done recording today, just take 2 minutes, watch the trailer.
I'm watching it now.
It is
I'm watching it on offshore engineer digital.com. This is serving the global offshore industry since 1975. Okay, that's where I'm checking out this movie.
Oh my god, it is the cheesiest trailer ever.
Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich, Gina Rodriguez.
I mean, is it good? Yeah, it's got a good cast, but oh my god, the trailer makes it look so cheesy. It's like he's getting ready for work.
My dad's
yeah, and his daughter has like some kind of project that she's doing for school, and she's talking about how they drill for oil, and it's just, oh my god, it's so bad. Yeah,
they just noticed something. They're all they all crowd around the thing. Kurt Russell's
the
like,
mud.
What's going on here?
That's the mud. That's the mud coming up through, as the daughter explains it to us.
Oh my goodness, she's a soda can.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that daughter's smart.
Yep. They're giving us a lesson. See, it's a learning opportunity.
Why are they doing this? Why are they making this a movie?
It's the same reason they made that Chilean miner documentary, movie.
They're gonna make everything a movie. Everything's gonna be a movie now.
I'm just wondering as far as the turnaround time. I want it to get to the point where a disaster happens and 2 days later there's a movie.
It comes out that Friday, and then everyone starts thinking like, are they making the disasters happen because they already have the movie lined up? And then it becomes a whole thing, and then that becomes a movie, like The Conspiracy.
Oh yeah,
and then everything just starts to like fold in on itself into the world, just completely explodes.
Hollywood is so far out of ideas that they start.
Everyone goes insane, and no one knows what reality is anymore.
I'm looking forward to that future. So that's Deepwater Horizon. That looks like a train wreck. We have Men and Chicken. I'm excited for this one.
This is the whatchamacallit one, right? The
Mads Mikkelsen. Absurdist comedy.
Men and Chicken.
Men and Chicken. Really excited for this one. Mads Mikkelsen looks great in it, and I love that this is going to be, I think, the first time I've seen him since playing Hannibal. So it's like polar opposite, and I can't wait for that. Draft House Films is putting this one out. Very excited for that. Search Party, which is a comedy with TJ Miller and Thomas Middletek. So it's two of the guys from Silicon Valley. R-rated comedy. Looks sort of like The Hangover.
Yeah.
It could be funny. Both of those guys I think are funny. I think TJ Miller is a good supporting character, but I think that if he's in every single scene, it might be a little too much because he's got a very abrasive personality.
Yes.
And it might get to be too much, but we'll see. I'll probably check it out. Looks like a VOD contender to me. But and then finally, I wanted to mention a new trailer came out for the Preacher TV series.
Oh,
this was another teaser, so you don't see a whole lot. But it was one of those deals where it was like real fast cuts of scenes.
Yeah.
And looks like it's gonna be pretty fantastic.
Oh boy,
can't wait for that. Really excited. I was worried when they announced it was going to be on AMC because even though AMC, that's where The Walking Dead is, which is an insanely violent show. The Preacher's more about, it has more than just graphic violence. There's everything else about it's graphic too. There's graphic sex. There's unbelievable amounts of profanity. And a show like that going to cable, they're limiting themselves in what they can show, even though they can show a lot as far as violence, nudity and stuff like that. They really can't get away with a lot of it, but I think that it's still going to be a good adaptation from what I've seen and from what I've heard. A lot of people saw the first couple episodes already. It did screen at South by Southwest, and people were saying it's great. So,
nice.
Okay. I don't know what that's all about. Nice.
We're just trying to add something. I don't have much to say about Preacher. I mean, I guess I'll check it out at some point.
Oh, you better.
That's one of those where I'll let it build up to hopefully like 3 seasons or something, and then just tear through it.
Power through it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That does it for the news this week. Let's go ahead and jump into our review. We're talking about Baskin. Baskin.
What does Baskin mean in Turkish? Like, do we know?
Oh shit! I did know that.
I thought I remembered you telling me.
I can't remember. I thought that it came. I thought that it like popped up when. Maybe not. Whatever. This is directed by Can Evernall. I have a synopsis here. A squad of unsuspecting cops goes through a trapdoor to hell when they stumble upon a black mass in an abandoned building. This is available now on video on demand services.
It means raid. Raid.
Ah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Which is kind of a good place to start. Like, a lot of people were saying, like, this is the horror version of The Raid, and
no,
it's. I mean, I can see why people might say that, because it is literally about a group of cops infiltrating a building, and most of the movie takes place in that building. But other than that, I'm not really seeing it.
They are hardly raiding anything.
When I first,
it's more so they just like carefully walk into.
They walk in and get destroyed. Is pretty much what happens in this movie. I was kind of disappointed with this movie, because I thought that from the trailer they made it look like it was gonna be like a raid, and they were like, as they went deeper into the building, stuff got crazier and crazier, and then they got split up, and then each of them had their own like experience going into like the depths of hell and stuff. And I thought it was gonna be just crazy madness the whole time, but it's not really. It didn't really turn out to be that. I mean, it is. I've also read a lot of people comparing it to Hellraiser, which I think that is a more apt comparison than The Raid.
Yeah,
it definitely has that kind of weird. It's this kind of almost surreal horror with people wearing lots of crazy masks and having piercings and just weird, creepy stuff that doesn't really make any sense when you think about it.
Just frogs everywhere.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of frogs.
Blood eggs. Got your eggs full blood.
Lots of blood in general. This is a pretty gory movie.
Oh man, and the noises, the sounds.
Yeah,
so much squishing.
Yeah,
so much squishing. It's ridiculous.
That is one thing that this movie has going for it, is that the sound is so precise and clear. Like, everything makes a noise, and it's just
everything's squishy and squishy and
yeah.
Oh,
it's an unsettling movie. I will give it that.
Definitely.
So Kevin,
what'd
you think of Baskin?
I was now the number one thing that I liked about this is I didn't really know anything going in. I remember you talking about it vaguely, like a couple of shows ago, but honestly, I didn't really remember anything that you said. So as I'm watching this thing unfold in front of me, I have absolutely no clue what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And this movie doesn't help in any way.
No.
Like throughout the film, they don't try to make sense, and it just keeps getting more bizarre and more bizarre. And then after a while, I finally just, I'm just in, just let's do it. I'm here. It's very unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, the noises, the sounds, and the visuals, the way they put them together, it's just, it made me queasy a number of times.
It's if you easily get nauseous over stuff like gore and really, really horrific imagery, you might want to stay away.
The biggest issue for me, and I think this happens a lot with me in horror films, is I was completely on board with everything, and it was disturbing, it was unsettling, it was kind of freaking me out a little bit once they finally all get to the house, and in the place that it kind of kept being that dream after dream after dream, where you kept coming back to which was just like really started to fuck with your head a little bit. But towards the end there, once you take back the curtain a little bit, and they kind of just thrust you in the middle of it, and it's not like hidden in the darkness anymore, it's just front and center. It really lost a lot of steam. and it just felt really drawn out at that point. When they're all chained up, like
yes.
Sweet Jesus.
I will totally agree. I liked the mystery element of it way more than what happens at the end when they all. Well, I don't think it's a spoiler to say it. At one point, they all get caught by something. I definitely liked that aspect of it more, where they were kind of wandering through the building. You don't know what happened to the other cops. You don't know what's going on. It's dark. You're seeing weird stuff. You don't know anything about what's happening here. And then you start seeing this really, really intensely creepy, like these, you don't even know if they're human. You don't even know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff I liked, the wandering through this vacant building. And then like you said, once they, turn the lights on, so to speak, it kind of turns into, it's almost a different, it almost gets into torture porn territory at that point.
Yeah.
And it is a bit too drawn out, but the thing about that is, like, just when you think it can't get any worse, man, it gets worse for these guys. It keeps getting more disturbing, more graphic, and more disgusting. And I gotta say, at this point, I still don't really think I have any idea what happened in this movie.
No.
And the ending, there's a bit of a twist ending, which I really liked, but I don't understand. I don't really get that. I don't really understand why that happened.
No.
I liked it.
I don't think you ever will either.
I don't think so. It's just a crazy.
It really starts to not make any sense whatsoever towards the end there, with a couple of things happening. You're just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not entirely sure it's supposed to make sense.
No, I don't think it really matters if it does or not. But but kind of like you said, it does get. It feels as though it is kind of torture porn there for a little bit towards the end before it starts getting weird again. And that's the portion that I thought was just entirely too drawn out, the whole torture porn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, man, we were doing interesting things.
Yeah.
Now we're doing lazy shit. Where it's just like, oh, I have a knife now. Like, oh, cool, I've never seen a knife before.
I'm going to lick it slowly.
Never seen someone get stabbed with a knife. Shit, this is new.
Yeah, I will agree that I think that portion was drawn out. I think that maybe it was designed to amp up the suspense, a bit, because you knew that terrible things were about to happen, so they wanted to kind of draw that out to keep you nervous and on the edge of your seat during that whole time. And I will say that the little guy that was I don't know if he was the leader of the whole show or whatever he was a creepy motherfucker, that guy.
Yeah, he was good choice for the bad guy.
And he had that like weird vest thing that had locks on it, and I thought at some point that was gonna come off and it was gonna reveal something even more horrific, but sadly it didn't.
I think the most disturbing thing for me, well, there's a number of things that just kind of freak you out a little bit. Number one, the frogs. That was just weird.
Yeah.
Frogs. But when they first get to the, whatever the hell it was, the abandoned police station, whatever it was, when they first start seeing people, or if they are people, who knows? I mean, most of them have like duct tape wrapped around their heads for some reason, or like plastic bags.
Yeah.
And just sweet Jesus, when you first see them like writhing around.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. What?
The first thing I thought was, those are real people and they shot that. Like that's something that the actors willingly did. It's like, oh God.
This is terrifying.
Because a lot of times they showed their mouths open, and like that blood and God knows what else was like all up in their mouths too. It was like so gross.
These people put a lot of trust in their director.
Yeah,
they did stuff that I definitely would not do for the sake of art, or for the sake of movie making. I would not be putting that stuff in my mouth. I don't give a shit how much you pay me.
But you were saying that
and that's like when I started, like everything was starting to come together. And I was like, this is, and then they finally find the one police officer, which is creepy and unsettling. And you just think things are going to ramp the fuck up.
Yeah.
And they kind of do, but they kind of they get ramped up in a very familiar way.
Yeah, and I feel like they showed their hand a little too early. Like I would like to see, like I said before, I thought at one point they were gonna like split up, and then each of the guys was gonna have their own kind of creepy, horrific experience within the building. And I thought that like each one was gonna be different. Like each room was a different portal to hell. Like, and it was gonna be just this crazy thing, and it's just kind of one thing that happens, and they all kind of encounter it at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a little disappointed with that, but it does go up to 11. They do ramp it up.
Yeah,
it gets pretty wild.
But it's just and that was the other portion that I liked about it so much, was how the one cop, little visual clues would pop up, and they would end up either back in the original apartment building from the very, very beginning, like when they're in that dirt tunnel and that picture shows up, or how they ended up back at the restaurant or whatever.
That was cool. That was a really cool visual when he was like running away and he ended up back in the apartment.
Yeah, and that's when
that was just such a cool.
That kept
just like,
popping.
Whoa!
The very first time that pops up, I was just like, what? Like, what? Is there like a chunk of the movie missing, or like what just happened?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on in this movie? Who the fuck is the kid at the beginning? What happened to that kid?
I think the kid's him. The kid is him as a kid.
I know, but everything's so confusing.
Yeah.
But then again, it all builds up to like, hey, I have a little knife. I'm gonna stab you.
I'm stab you.
I'm gonna stab you with my little knife.
I'll stab you with my little knife. He does, and he does stab.
He digs around a little bit too, though. I mean, he stabs.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some digging.
He stabs and digs, stabs and digs. But the only thing that kind of confused me was the first guy that gets done in. Which, number one, I thought he already got done in. I mean,
oh yeah, the sledgehammer.
I don't know how you survived that, but okay, you did. You pulled it off, portly guy.
That was confusing to me too, because
then he lifts up his shirt and he's got.
Yeah, it looked like he was already like cut open and then sewed back up.
Yeah, like he already has.
But there's like a little piece of his intestines hanging out there.
I don't know if that was maybe.
I don't know if that was something that was cut out, or just we had to assume that they were already messing around with him and we didn't see it happen.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it was. Like they probably messed around, did horrible things to him, and we just didn't see it.
But it's interesting that they took the time to like, let's sew him back up real quick.
Yeah.
And then tie him up to this pillar. Okay. And then like they messed it up when they were sewing him back up. They're like, I still got this little bit that's like hanging out. It's like we gotta get this going. We gotta chain him up around these pillars. Okay. We're on a time crunch here. Because I guess the portal of hell is opening. I don't know what hell's doing, though. I don't know what the portal's for. I don't know what hell's doing. They
seem to be having a really massive orgy, first of all.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like an orgy or like a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed to be a little bit of both. It was horrible, whatever it was. There was another really disturbing and weird thing that happens. I'm not going to say what it was, but it involved one of the female whatever they were, cult people or demons or monsters, and it was just like almost like not a throwaway scene, but it was just a weird like, what was that all about?
Yeah, are you talking about, because this is what it made me ultimately think. My first thought was, damn, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, yep.
Like,
that's the one.
It really happens that quickly, I guess.
Yep, that's the one.
But I'm just, if I was looking at it from where I'm sitting, I'm just, what's hell doing? Like, what's going on in hell? It just all seems kind of pointless.
I don't know.
Like, they're just writhing around on the floor and stuff. Like, what's your end game? What are you working towards? Because it doesn't really make any sense to me.
And also, if it is hell, like, honestly, from us looking at it, I would hate to be one of those people, but they all seem to be like they were having a pretty good time.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
seem to be enjoying themselves. I don't know why, but they're into it. It seemed like it.
Yeah, it's a very very strange movie.
Yeah.
I liked the beginning. I liked the beginning part when they were at the whatever that house was, when the guy had his little freak out in the bathroom.
No,
I
yeah.
liked that scene when it was the first kind of dream sequence, nightmare sequence with him and the boss, and like the blood or whatever the
Yeah,
black shit
it
was.
starts like trickling through the wicker.
Yeah.
No, that shit. Yeah.
That was
And then when
cool.
he's underwater and they like the big
The hand?
giant hands come in, it's just like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going
Yeah.
on in this movie?
That was a really cool visual.
And I mean, it's such a slow burn too. Like they take
Yeah.
their time.
Yeah.
Like, because it takes a long time until they actually get to this abandoned police station, whatever the hell it is that the air quote raid that takes place, which again, not a raid. They're just calmly walking into an abandoned building and just looking at trinkets hanging from the ceiling. Okay. No one is raiding anything.
That is correct. There is no raid. They get a call for backup and they go and they slowly they do what cops should do. I mean, you don't want to just bust in and run in there. It was a creepy ass place, so they, take their time. It's completely dark in there too.
But also at the same time, even if I'm a cop and I'm like, all right, we got these weird ass trinkets just like hanging from the ceiling. It's like a mess of like meat and hair and twine and stuff. And then you had that big one outside that was like an oversized dream catcher.
Yeah.
You're walking around and, you find a shit ton of eggs, right? And one of the eggs is just filled with blood. I'd be like, no, it's not really. This isn't a police thing, okay? This is out of our jurisdiction. Like, this is not a police thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. And then once they get into the stairwell, and it looks like it just goes down for eternity, and the two guys are like, "Well, we'll go down. We'll go down a bit." I'm like, "Nah, no,
don't do that.
Why would you?" I'd be like, "Okay, clearly we're gonna have to call this in.
You have to call every single police officer. Like you need backup. All right.
At least wait until daytime."
But there's not even a word for what you need, because it's not backup. You need something else. Like you need to call the army. Yeah. The army needs to show up. You got to have the police there. You have to have the fire department just in case things get out of control.
At that point, you just need to demolish the building. Yeah, just demolish the building.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Why you got that just laying around? Tear that building down. See, if you just leave buildings around and let them go to ruin, you know what happens? Hell ends up in there, and this is what happens. And there's black mass, and you got to take care of that shit. Stuff just moves in, takes over. Hell's squatting in your abandoned buildings.
Yep, that's what it is.
That's how they get here. Take care of it.
I just want to know if these people, this black mass, if they live there or if they just attend the black mass and then leave at the end and just go to their regular job the next day.
Yeah, really. Or do they live? Because that's what I kind of thought too. Is like, I would like to know, like, what does downtime look like in hell? Or are you writhing constantly? And you know what I mean? Or do you get to take the plastic bags and duct tape off your head at any point in time and shower, or are you on the floor 24/7?
I'm gonna say they're just on the floor 24/7 because the filth and the grime.
Yeah.
That's not from one evening.
That's true.
Of debauchery. That's deep. That's pretty thick.
Yeah, that was a streak of days.
Yeah,
which is writhing in filth. But again, that's one of those things that you look at after a while, and you're like, what's the point of us writhing on the floor in filth? What are we accomplishing?
They were in pleasure and pain, just like Hellraiser.
Well, I guess.
All right,
Baskin.
I'm gonna say if you're a fan of the Hellraiser series, where it's just really graphic violence, gruesome, gory craziness, I'd say it's worth checking out.
I would actually say it's not too bad. I was quite surprised, actually. I thought it was going to be, an absolute terrible time. I was not looking forward to this. But hey, it turned out that it wasn't awful.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably one of the best horror movies I've seen this year. Certainly one of the most interesting, one of the most unique.
It's just
I feel like I haven't seen a movie like this for a long time.
Well, and that's the other thing, that it kind of gets, it's a little more disappointing than usual because they do so many good things, so many interesting things, that when they do kind of get stuck in that rut of just drawing out the torture porn, that's just like, oh, you guys were so damn close.
I know.
You were so close.
It was so close to being exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
But it just like slightly missed the mark on it. So yeah, but I still enjoyed it as well. Let's go ahead and give this thing a score. I'm gonna give Baskin a 6 out of 10.
Ooh, I'm gonna give it. I was thinking a 6. I was thinking a 6, 6.5. That's what I'm gonna say. 6, 6.5. I'm not gonna decide on one.
Okay, there you go. Baskin is again playing on VOD platforms now, so you can check it out if you so desire. Again, fair warning: it is out of control, gory and violent, and very disturbing.
It is not the Raid. It is nothing like the Raid. Please
do
not think that ever.
Yes, do not go into it thinking that it is like a horror version of the Raid, because that's what I did, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment there. So,
and there's also that whole point too that I didn't even think of. Like, use your guns. You got guns. Let's use them guns a little bit.
Yeah,
they're really hesitant to use those guns. I would just start firing.
Just blindly fired everywhere.
Just every room you walk into, just unload like five or six bullets. Just as
if it moves,
that's your entrance. You know, just walk into a room and spray.
Yep.
I don't think I would make it as a cop.
I know I wouldn't. All right, let's go. Let's talk about some of what we've been watching. Fortunately, even though we were gone for a while, I don't have a whole lot to talk about.
He was not busy watching movies.
I've watched some stuff. Currently, I am watching some Tribeca stuff, and everything is under embargo, so I can't talk about any of the Tribeca stuff that I've been watching. But I can say that some stuff's been okay. But so far, nothing's really grabbing me.
Check out Vaxxed? Check out Vaxxed?
No. Did not check out Vaxxed. No. I can say what I saw, I just can't give any opinions on it. I'll just say that I saw Holidays, which is the horror anthology.
Oh, okay.
And which is Kevin Smith directed one, and there's one directed by Nicholas McCarthy. And it's like all centered around different holidays. So they do Christmas, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, and each of the stories is a holiday.
That sounds like it could be something.
Stay tuned for my review. I think that review will be up April 14th.
Oh boy!
And then I saw Tiger Raid. Is it's an Israeli, or not an Israeli. I don't know why I said that. It's a film about two mercenaries in Iraq.
Yeah.
The one is Brendan Gleeson's son, not Domhnall, but the other one.
Thank goodness. I thought you were going to say Domhnall.
No, it's the I can't remember his name right now. But he's the one that looks and talks exactly like Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, okay.
But it's about these two mercenaries who have a job that they have to kidnap somebody, and it just goes terribly, terribly wrong. All right. I'll start it off just for the hell of it. I saw Midnight Special.
Midnight Special?
Yeah.
You actually got to see this.
I did.
We
didn't it go wide this week?
We're not getting it.
I thought it went wide.
It probably did, but we didn't get it. I mean, we have those. I am flush.
God's Not Dead
I
too.
am flush with fucking faith-based movies right now. There's a number that I could go see. Midnight Special. I cannot see that one.
That's a shame because this is really good. So this is directed by Jeff Nichols, and I knew I was probably going to like it going into it because I'm pretty sure I liked everything that Jeff Nichols has done. Some more than others. I think probably Take Shelter is still my favorite of his, but
yeah,
I liked Mud and I liked Shotgun Stories as well. So this is basically about a kid who has superpowers, and Michael Shannon plays his father, and he's trying to get him to safety because of reasons that I don't want to get into because of possible spoilers.
Yeah.
But if you are a fan of the old Amblin films, E.T., Starman, it's definitely got a Starman vibe to it as well. You'll like this. It's not a typical like superhero movie. There's not lots of action. It's very, very subdued. It's exactly what you might expect from a Jeff Nichols film. It's just, it has more special effects certainly than his other movies, but it looks great. I loved Michael Shannon's character, and Joel Edgerton was awesome in it, even though he plays a very like kind of quiet, reserved character. He was awesome in it. Adam Driver's in it for a little bit. He plays sort of the comic relief a little bit, but he was great in it as well. Same with Sam Shepard. Sam Shepard actually plays kind of a bad guy. Okay. And it's definitely recommend checking this one out. It's well worth a look. I liked it a lot.
I just wanted to update you because I originally said that as a joke, like I'm flush with faith-based movies. So I had to check just to see how many are playing right now. We have 3. I have the chance to see Risen, Miracles from Heaven, or God's Not Dead 2.
Oh God!
Midnight Special. I cannot see that one.
Oh my God!
But the interesting thing is that apparently we're getting Hardcore Henry, which they misspelled with a T in between the N and the R for some reason. So we are getting that one, but not Midnight Special. It's so bizarre.
Well, Hardcore Henry, I think, is getting a wide release.
It's just so weird, like what they decide to pick as the wide releases that we get.
Yeah,
I don't know, because it's the same movie theater that I was able to see Killer Joe, which is, if you're gonna have NC-17 movies, you would think that you would get all the wide releases. But
yeah,
you just pick and choose.
Well, maybe I don't know. It's possible the Midnight Special didn't go wide. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know. I just know that it seemed like everyone else was watching it, and I was just sitting sad on my sofa, like, what I mean? Why can't I see it? But instead, I watched The Martian.
Uh-oh.
So yeah,
little Ridley Scott action.
Little Ridley Scott.
So you love The Martian?
The Martian is fucking pointless. This is a pointless goddamn movie. I don't know why the hell this is a movie.
Was it the comedy event of 2015?
I mean, they try so hard to make this shit funny. Because, it's just Matt Damon and Mars just trying to make it. And, he's talking into a variety of cameras, like doing this like daily blog thing, I guess. So, for when the next group of astronauts get there, I guess they can, learn what he did and how he made it. And that's where like all the comedy comes from is, it's him like, I'm going to have to science the shit out of this. And it's like, that's something an astronaut would say. And then, he blows himself up. And of course he sits down immediately. He's like, yeah, blew myself up. And then like the only music he has is one of the astronauts left behind their music, which is all disco music. So it's just him continuously making disco digs. Like, disco music. Your taste in music sucks. It's just like, this is stupid. This is so fucking dumb. Number one, it's a Hollywood movie. So right off the bat, the guy's getting fucking saved. They're not gonna have a multi-million-dollar Hollywood movie end with him dying and imploding in space. With his face just like peeling apart and whatnot. That's not gonna happen. He's getting saved and he's gonna come home. So with that being said, this thing is over 2 hours long. It is just exposition. And it's mostly just him talking to cameras of what he's doing and making little jokes about it, little quips. And then the stuff back on Earth is them trying to figure out how the hell do we get this guy back home. And it's just like, this is the most uncinematic thing I've ever seen. Outside of some like cool special, the look of Mars in your space shots. You're like, oh, that's kind of nice. But other than that, you just want it to be over. I don't understand. I don't know why people like this.
Is this on Netflix now?
It's out on DVD.
Oh, okay.
Wasted DVD on this thing.
Speaking of Netflix, I saw Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this one came out. Didn't like it.
Oh.
No, didn't like it. I was never the biggest fan of Pee-wee to begin with. I mean, I liked him as a kid. I liked the show. Going back as an adult, when Adult Swim was playing Pee-wee's Playhouse, it just didn't really hold up for me. I still like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but this movie, it just felt like it was just too late. It was just too late. There were some funny parts in it, particularly what's his name from Magic Mike, Joe Manganiello.
Okay.
He played himself in it, and he became like best friends with Pee-wee. And every time Pee-wee tried to say his name, he messed it up. So he was like Joe Manganiello, and it was just, I don't know, that part made me laugh every time. And I just like the fact, because so Pee-wee would have these dream sequences where he would fall asleep and then he would dream that him and Joe Manganiello were like riding horses together, and they would only speak in Spanish in his dreams. And I thought that was funny too. So there was this kind of, goofy, almost absurdist quality to the movie, but for the most part, I just didn't find it that funny or entertaining. It didn't really do it for me. Basically, the plot is that Pee-wee is leaving his little town and heading off to the big cities, going to New York to attend Joe Manganiello's birthday party.
Yeah.
And it's just him on a road trip. So it's a road trip movie, but the problem was it felt a lot like Joe Dirt to me. Where he meets these kind of weird, colorful people along the way, but they just weren't that funny. Like, he meets this traveling salesman who sells gift shop merchandise to like tourist traps around the country. And it just wasn't great. And also, Paul Rubens is, granted, he still looks like Pee-wee. Like, he still has the look. But he doesn't really sound like Pee-wee anymore. Like, his voice has changed over the years. And he can't really do the Pee-wee voice anymore. But, it is what it is.
That's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing. But you can watch Pee-wee's Big Holiday now on Netflix. It's available.
You did. I watched one that wasn't. It was good, but not good. And that's Spotlight.
Ooh, Spotlight.
I guess I was catching up on my Oscar picks on these Oscar movies. So this is the one that won Best Picture, right?
Mm-hmm. It did.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. That was a terrible choice. It's a good movie, but I mean, almost all of that stems from the fact that it's a very engaging story.
Yeah.
Like, you can pretty much do anything you want with this, besides, hiring the worst actors in the world. You have some big names here. They do a serviceable enough job. Actually, I was kind of irritated with Mark Ruffalo's his performance. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
He definitely...
He's trying too hard. He just seemed like he was really trying hard.
My guess is that the real person that's based on is a bit of a character.
Well, that's the thing that's odd to me, is like, it irritated me, and I'm thinking, this is a terrible performance. But who the hell knows? Maybe he did, the perfect impression of that guy.
See, that was what I thought, because he acts in a very specific way in that movie, and I have to imagine that the real person is.
Yeah, but even
that's how they act and talk.
But even then, there's still a part in it. It's like, I don't know. Like, I can see it too easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are projecting acting.
Yeah.
Entirely too, and especially when everyone else is kind of playing it low key, and then you have him just like, I just kept hearing John Lovitz the entire time. Every time it's acting, it's like, oh my god. But I mean, and a lot of people were just kind of talking about McCarthy's. There's not that much style to this movie. There's really no style. It's just kind of straightforward. But honestly, what the hell did you expect we got to do with the storyline?
Well, I've said this before. It's basically the whole thing just takes place in offices. Like, it's just people talking and trying to figure out what's going on. Like, just talking through events.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a lot of opportunity to showing.
Yeah, and another thing is, you also have to, number one, you can't overdo it. Because it's not going to look right. Because, like you said, it's offices. It's just people sitting around talking, and typing on computers and whatnot. And then number two, the subject matter at hand. You don't want to be flashy.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
You're dealing with this kind of thing.
It would come off as disrespectful in that.
Yeah, but I mean, the interesting thing that I did see is there's a number of montage sequences in this. When they're just going around and interviewing people and whatnot, or they're doing their research and everything. And I thought it was interesting that it seemed like he was trying. You could tell within those moments that he was trying to throw a little flair in there with his his framing choices and the tracking shots of people entering buildings and stuff. He tried to find little holes where he could get something in there. So I didn't think it was overly drab.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's decent. It's decent.
I liked it quite a bit. I wouldn't say that it was the best movie of the year, my favorite movie of the year by any means, but I liked it.
It's just, I mean, and it's one of those things too. It's like it doesn't really need to be a movie. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it doesn't need to be one. I mean, it makes a decent one.
Does anything need to be a movie though?
No, but I mean, do a little creativity and whatnot. But this is kind of like, oh, it's an article that we made into a movie. Like, why are we doing that now? Let's stop making
I like those types of movies to begin with, those kind of like investigative journalism type movies. So I was definitely on board with it.
Yeah.
All right, that's Spotlight. I'm sure you can see that now on a variety of
You can also
ways.
get that on DVD. Came in the mail.
DVD.
Put it right in my mailbox.
Let's see. I saw Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh shit! Foreshadowing.
So yeah, I pretty much hated this movie.
No.
I went into it with fairly low expectations, and those expectations were too high, clearly, because I walked out of it and I was like, what did I just see? It is, I'm not going to get too into it, but there is a litany of issues I had with this movie. The major one being that it felt like it was at least 2 or 3 movies crammed together into one completely incoherent, disjointed mess. I don't understand how this movie was. They watched it. They watched, the final cut, and they were like, "This is it. This is it. We got it, guys." Because it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
It's a complete the whole time I was just flabbergasted at what I was watching on screen, and I was in a pretty full theater. I didn't see this opening weekend or anything like that. I waited a few days, but the theater was, still pretty full, and people in the audience were audibly laughing at just how ridiculous some aspects of this movie were. They were laughing. It's really, really, really disappointing because, again, huge fan of Batman, and I think that they could have done something really interesting and really cool with, this whole Batman versus Superman concept, and they squandered it. I'd say one of the best parts is Wonder Woman, which was a big surprise because I had no expectations at all for Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and that was like one of the best parts when she comes into it. But again, I don't know if she even needed to be there. I don't know why she was there. That was the big problem, is that I had no idea what the motivations were for any of these people except for Batman.
And that's kind of the sad thing is there's really not a motivation outside of, hey, we had to set up for that other movie. Which seems kind of like the problem with most of these now is like they're so busy setting up all the other movies that they have planned or in the pipeline that they forget that they should make like an actual good movie just for then and there. But they're just like, whoa, we're setting it up for this one, and then we're setting it up for this one. It's just going to be a standalone, but then it's also going to be. It's like, oh my god, you guys are getting way too far ahead of yourselves.
It's like they wanted to fast track the Justice League movie, and they were like, okay, well, we don't have enough time to give each of these characters their own movies to set this big story up, so let's just try to cram in as much as we can with this one.
Yeah. And
I mean, you see Aquaman, you see Cyborg, you see the Flash, you see all of them in this movie. Now, granted, all of those other characters they're literally and I don't think this is, maybe a mild spoiler. There's a scene where Gal Gadot infiltrates Lex Luthor's computer and finds these file folders that have the logos of each of the Justice League members. And she opens them up, and there's videos of each one of them. And that's like the introduction to each one of them. Now, first of all, this is a nitpick, but I have a million nitpicks with this movie. So they culminate. If these characters are not even established yet, like the video they show of the Flash, like he's not even the Flash, he's just a fast guy. So he's like, how would he already have a logo? like why would he have a logo already if he's not even the Flash yet?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And
I don't know how do you stumble across Aquaman?
Well, the video was like a found footage video of some guys doing some work underwater, like working on a pipeline or something, and he like he like emerges from a cave and stabs him with his scepter, or his trident, I mean.
Damn, Aquaman. I was hoping it was just gonna be like him on like a leather futon, just talking with some fish. Just relaxing. It's a long day. He's just hanging out.
He's like on the phone with one of his bros. Yeah, totally banged that chick from last night, dude.
Him with a Miller Lite.
Miller High Life. Ben Affleck, I liked as Batman. I thought that he did a good job. The problem was the dialogue was so atrocious that it made it seem like he wasn't doing a great job.
Yeah.
But I think that he's a solid Batman, and I really hope that this doesn't tarnish him playing that role, because I would love to see him direct a standalone Batman movie and be in it, because I think he was really good in this. And I like the look of the suit and everything too. And they actually justified the Bat voice, the Batman voice,
perfect.
Yeah. They justified that. Like, they explained that and everything. So I thought that was a nice little touch. So it wasn't all bad. I didn't hate 100% of it. There was one fight scene with Batman that I thought was awesome and probably the best part of the entire movie. I hated Lex Luthor. I thought that he was terribly miscast, and Jesse Eisenberg did not do a good job, and I didn't believe that was Lex Luthor, even though supposedly he's not supposed to be the Lex Luthor that we know from the other Superman movies and all of that in the comics. He's Lex Luthor's son.
Oh, okay.
Alexander. He is also called Lex, and that's why the character is different, but I still thought that it wasn't a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are my very brief thoughts on Batman v Superman. Pretty much hated it. Extremely disappointing.
I watched a 10 out of 10er. 10 out of 10 on the Hulu Plus there. That's a report on the Party and Gas from 1966. Jan Nemec's kind of critique of communism. This is a Czech New Wave film. And this is, number one, it's like just an hour long. It's like a little over an hour, right? Critique of communism, he brings up so many things. And the way that he houses all of this is just people out for a picnic, and then they kind of get accosted by these strangers, but accosted in like a friendly way, but you can tell that it's kind of menacing and threatening. And then, they start to conform and everything, and then they're invited to this dinner party, and then things go on from there. Just the way that he houses all of this and the way that he's able to bring it across to the viewer is it's quite impressive. And I mean, to pack all that into an hour, really, and to keep it funny and light, where it doesn't feel like heavy-handed or preachy or anything along those lines, I mean, it's quite impressive. And it's an hour. It's just an hour. You just breeze through it.
It's just an hour.
It's just an hour. You just breeze through this thing, right? Just sit down, enjoy yourself, watch it. I gotta check out more Jan Nemec stuff. I mean, he's another director that just, I think he passed away like last week or the week before or something.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah, and that's the shitty thing, is that I'm finally getting around to seeing these directors because they're dying. That's what's finally pushing me. So it's a bummer.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I saw a crappy found footage movie called They're Watching.
I've never heard you say that before.
This is directed by Jay Lender and Micah Wright. I thought the 2016 was the end of it. Like, I thought that we weren't gonna. And granted, there haven't been a whole lot of them, but somehow one made it to my desk. And this one is so it's supposed to be set up like one of those house, not flipping, but like renovating shows.
Yeah.
Where this girl, this girl and her, I think it's her, I can't remember if it's her boyfriend or her husband. They buy this cottage in Moldova, and then the crew of the show goes back 6 months later to check in and see how the renovations turned out, and they start to encounter the locals, and things start to get a little bit weird, and they believe that maybe the locals are out to kill them. One thing that I will say about this movie is the last, like, most of these found footage movies are slow burn, weak payoff. Like, that's pretty much the formula. With this one, the last 10 minutes are out of control. They're like, you know what? We're just going to go balls to the wall with this one. And it is like nothing that I expected at all. It is insane. The problem is they bit off way more than they could chew. The special effects are horrendous. And I mean, it looks like one of those sci-fi originals. It's just really bad. It's like After Effects work to the max on this one. But that being said, I like the effort. I applaud them for the effort. Overall, though, it's just your typical found footage garbage. It's not funny. It's supposed to be kind of like a horror comedy, I think, but it's not really funny. All the characters are unlikable, and you don't give two shits about them from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I can't recommend this one. I have a full review for this up on the site if you're interested.
Okay. Couple of quick things to go over. I had 3 reviews up for short films that were on No Budge recently.
Yeah, so you're cranking it out.
I was able to write 3 reviews. That was kind of weird. And out of those 3, I would, because it's Psychopomp, some of us have been threatening our friend Colby and The Tourist. If you're interested in checking them out, I would highly recommend The Tourist and Psychopomp. Some of us have been threatening our friend Colby. Not so much. I wouldn't really recommend that one. The Tourist is actually, man, it looks good. Did you get a chance to check that out?
No, I did not get a chance to check it out.
That's a bummer.
I'll try to watch it today. I have time today. I think I'm going to go see Everybody Wants Some today, but...
Oh, boy. You're probably going to love that.
Probably. Well, here's the thing.
Like, everyone just fucking loves Linklater, man.
I know. Here's the thing about that. When it's... The trailers do not make it look good. It does not look good to me. But critics are loving it. It's got like an 86% or something.
I know. Isn't there a part of you that's just like, well, maybe instead I should just watch like a David Wayne movie or something? I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Who, Linklater?
Yeah, just a bizarre choice that everyone's gonna fucking love. Everyone's gonna gush fuck the shit out of that movie.
Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see after I check it out. Anyway, I don't remember where we were.
Either. But the one of because I give you recommendations for No Budge. Another recommendation is if you and I don't know if we talked about this or not, but Festival Scope has a different version of their website that's available to everyone.
Yes, yeah. I wanted to mention that, and when it came out, but I didn't. I forgot.
And they do collections of films occasionally, and they'll do some festivals, and they'll usually put up like 5 or 6 films selected from there. And it's either one's like I think like £4 or something, or €4, something along those lines, or they might be free, but you have to get like a voucher for it, that type of thing. And recently they did the New Directors, New Films series.
Oh, okay.
So they have that up right now. A number of them are already sold out, unfortunately. So you're going to miss out on them. There's still a couple that are available, and I would just, because I've seen a number of them, and two that I would suggest if you're looking into it is the Park and We All Love the Seashore. Those are two that I would highly recommend. The other ones that I watched were kind of
Yeah, if you go to festivalscope.com, they now have, because before it was only available to professionals, people in the industry, but now it's available to everyone. It's a different version, and I have not looked at the selection, but apparently you have.
Yeah, they occasionally get some good stuff on there.
Do you know how much the regular user the cost is for that?
It's like an a la carte. So you're just paying for one movie, and that's why I said occasionally some of the collections, each film is it's €4, or
okay.
The collections are all free. Like the one for the new directors, new films, they're all free, but it's just there's a limited number of vouchers to see them.
I got
what I mean?
Yes,
I think they do 200 tickets or something like that.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
You get your voucher, and then you kind of reserved your space to watch that movie at some point.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's cool. Yeah, check out festivalscope.com. They have all kinds of stuff, and we've been members of that site for a long time.
Well, it keeps adding. There's so many places to go now between Punch and Movie and the original Festival Scope and the new Festival Scope. Because for us, there's actually surprisingly not that much overlap between the.
Right. Yeah. There's almost no overlap.
And then you got your Hulu and your Netflix and your jeez. Oh my god.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
So many times just overrun with choices.
One thing I also wanted to mention at the top of the show, and I forgot, is that the Letterboxd app is now out for iOS devices, and it is a really good app.
Mm.
So if you have an iPhone, check out the Letterboxd app. It's awesome. The only other one that I'll mention is a film called The Corpse of Anna Fritz. This is a Spanish horror film from director Hector Hernandez Vicens. It's not great. It's short, which it's thankfully it is short. It's only 76 minutes long. But basically, it's about these three guys, one of whom works in a hospital morgue. There's a very famous actress by the name of Anna Fritz who dies and ends up in this morgue that he works at. So he decides that he wants to show his friends the corpse of Anna Fritz, hence the title, and they have sex with it. And then she wakes up.
What?
Yep. And it's just about, what do they do? Do they, help her? Do they leave her? Do they kill her?
What?
What should they do in this situation? It's kind of a containment thriller, actually, because they're basically the whole movie takes place in this morgue, and it's just not very good. I didn't like it at all. There's just nothing to it. I mean, everything that I told you is exactly what happens, and it's just not interesting. I mean, when you want to talk about movies that don't need to be made, this is it right here. This is
that's when someone came up with that idea, someone should have just been like, no.
At first, it reminded me of that really, really disturbing film. I think it was called Dead Girl.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that one.
Where these two friends find this woman
like a zombie woman or something.
Yeah, it sort of reminded me of that. This movie's actually less disturbing than that one. I didn't like that one either, but this one's actually less disturbing. But it's still, you're dealing with necrophilia and possible rape. It's kind of a gray area, really, because they thought she was dead, but she was alive.
Yeah, I think you're into a worse territory than you've upgraded that rape into something that really shouldn't exist at all. It's not something that should be thought about.
Yeah. Either way, this is available on VOD. I believe it's just not very good. So that's pretty much all I have.
That's all I got too. I'm done.
I will mention, if you haven't seen the second season of Daredevil on Netflix, highly recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
I am a huge fan of the Punisher, and he's awesome in it. The guy that plays the Punisher from Walking Dead, I think his name's John Barrendall. He was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
He's awesome as the Punisher. I think that was a really good choice to make him the Punisher. And Daredevil's kind of it's a superhero show, but it's also kind of a courtroom show as well. So to bring the Punisher into something of a courtroom drama is something that sounds ridiculous, but actually the way that they do it, it works. And this season is way bloodier. It is so much more violent than the last season. I mean, mostly because the Punisher's in it, and they do not hold back. I mean, it's intense, and it's way more action packed. There's a lot of action. Elektra's in it too, but I don't really like that character that much to begin with. But Punisher is awesome in it. The third episode is a particular highlight. It reminds me of the fight scene in Old Boy, the hallway fight.
Oh, okay.
Where it just goes on forever and it just never lets up, and it is so long, and it's like a single take shot, and it's just, oh man, it is awesome. But yeah, pretty much love the second season of Daredevil, so definitely worth a look. All right, let's talk about some predictions. Now, since we were off for 2 weeks, we didn't predict anything, but next week, I guess we can just kind of go over some of the current ratings, Rotten Tomato ratings of these newer movies. Batman v Superman currently has a 29%.
It's a little rough.
Allegiant, which we never talked about, that has a 12.
Ooh.
Yeah. That Miracles from Heaven movie that you mentioned has a 49, or 48, sorry. God's Not Dead 2 has a 14.
What?
And that's pretty much all there is to mention. Everybody Wants Some. Oh, that's got a 90 now.
Okay.
Up to a 90.
Jeez.
And that Hank Williams biopic, I Saw the Light, has a 16.
Ooh. Oh.
And that horror film Darling that we wanted to watch but is not available, it has an 81.
Damn it.
And Francophilia has a 90.
Damn it.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll see those.
At some point in time. Hopefully.
Next week, got one that I'm particularly excited for, and that's The Boss. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not excited for The Boss at all. What do you think about The Boss?
Looks like the same movie.
Looks like a classic Melissa McCarthy joint.
I know. She's so funny, though.
She is.
But they keep making movies out of, like, the unfunny portion of her shtick. Like, I like it more when she's just a weird, awkward person. It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, like, a 38.
38? All right. I'll say 48 on that one. Hardcore Henry. I wish they just kept it. I wish they kept it as hardcore.
Or is it Hentry? Hentry or Hentry? Hentry. Hardcore Hentry.
It's not like you said hardcore entry, which sounds like
it's a whole nother movie.
Yeah. I'm hopeful for this one. I think it looks really interesting. So I'm going to say 78.
I'm going to say 64.
Are you going to be checking that one out?
I think, we kind of talked about it before. Can you keep that going?
Keep the momentum going without making half the audience vomit?
Yeah. Just, I don't know. But I'm interested to see if they can do it.
Yeah. We also have Demolition. This is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal that I think looks terrible. About a guy who loses his wife and then he just starts taking things apart.
What?
Yeah, he like loses his wife and then he just starts this weird compulsion where he's like takes stuff apart. Like he takes apart his fridge and takes apart a bathroom stall.
I guess that's a real thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. This is from the guy that did Dallas Buyers Club.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Which I liked a lot.
It's all right. This doesn't sound good.
What are you thinking on Demolition?
Thinking 44.
I'll say 52 on that one. In limited release, we have The Invitation, which I think we could both safely recommend checking out. Mr. Right. Mr. Right. I don't know what that is.
Right.
Generic.
Like generic
title.
There's two. I just typed it in. There's two, and they're both 2015. I don't know which one is which.
This is the one with Sam Rockwell and Anna Kendrick, where he's like a hitman, where we talked about it before. Yeah. He only kills the people that hire him.
Is this? Yep. Okay, it's Max Landis. Just saw the poster. I'm like, Max Landis. It's got to be, and it is.
Yes, it is. It is. Louder Than Bombs. That's the one with Jesse Eisenberg. I'm actually.
It finally comes out.
Yeah.
I'm hearing about that movie for like 4 years, it seems.
Yeah. One More Time. That's with Christopher Walken and Amber Heard. I don't really like that. I saw a trailer for that. It not really doing it for me. Neon Bull. High Strung, which is a dance movie. If you see the trailer for this, it looks unbelievably horrible.
Really?
Yes, we will not be covering it.
Oh.
It looks so bad. That's pretty much it. I'm just checking through here to see if there's anything else of note, but not really. On VOD next week, we have The Masked Saint, Curveball. Those are both on Tuesday, and then Friday we have One More Time, Havana Motor Club, and Decay. Yeah, kind of a weak lineup for VOD next week. Blu-ray next week, got a big one. Star Wars Episode 7.
Oh boy,
The Force Awakens. Got like 50 different versions of this one coming out. There's like a steel book, and there's like 4 versions that I see here on Blu-ray.com.
That's insane. And it's just going to get worse and worse. After a couple of years, they're going to come out with another version.
Oh, of course,
like 2 more versions.
Well, and then they got to come out with like the box set that has all of them.
Yeah. Then the Diamond Edition. Because it's been 10 years since it came out.
Yeah, but that's the way it's been for a long time, since DVD was a thing. We also have The Hollow. Okay. Decent creature feature. I would recommend it. It's a solid horror movie. Arrow Video is putting out Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key from 1972. I would definitely check that out. I saw that for the first time not too long ago.
That's on Fandor, right? That's on Fandor.
It is on Fandor, yeah. Also, The Black Cat from 1981, which I believe is also on Fandor.
Ooh.
Arrow's putting that out too. Got a re-release of Prefontaine on Blu-ray.
Oh boy.
Prefontaine.
About time.
Hashtag Horror, which I did not like. That's the one with Chloe Savini. It's kind of a satirical take on youth and the internet-obsessed culture that we have these days. It doesn't really work for me. Let's see. Tumble Down, that's the one with Alison Brie and Jason Sudeikis. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Is it? No, sorry. Jessica Hall and Jason Sudeikis. For some reason, I get them mixed up. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
All right.
We have anything on the Criterion front?
Zero Criterions.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They probably just wanted to back off from Star Wars.
That's right.
There's really not a whole lot coming out next week. It's probably because of Star Wars.
But and then speaking of Fandor, I don't know if you probably know, but Chantal Ackerman's last film came out on Fandor this weekend.
No home movie.
Yeah, and then in June they're getting the Hong Sang-soo Right Now Wrong Then, which I've been hearing about for God knows how long. Fandor's picking up everything.
Picking it up?
Man, they're getting a little bit of everything too. That's what I love. It's so there's the range of what they have. It's ridiculous.
If you live in New York, No Home Movie is playing in theaters here as well.
See, look at that. You get the wow, Fandor doing its thing.
Doing its thing.
All
right, well, I think that is going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse, and consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson, and we'll see you next week.